and take a seat. We're going to start right now. Just a quick request from the police department. If everyone could sit, take a seat towards the middle. We're not going to be, the police department requested that we have no one standing in the back of the room unless you're an organizer for the event. And also real quick for those recording, in an effort to make things much easier, in an effort to make the crowd be able to move around much easier, the NSU would be happy to provide a video transcript of the event. But if you still want to record, we request out of respect for the crowd that you do not record the crowd and only record Dr. Pappe and myself. Thank you. Sorry. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most kind. We start with the greeting of peace. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today's event falls in the midst of our Anti-Zionism week, our week titled Never Again the Palestinian Holocaust. Our intention for having this week every year is only to educate people about what's going on abroad and to educate people about what we can do and what our efforts play a role in what's happening abroad. So we start with some recitation of the Quran from Surah Ma'idah, which is chapter 4 of the Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا ولقد جاءتهم رسلنا بالبينات ثم إن كثيرا منهم بعد ذلك في الأرض لمسرفون. The translation of which Allah says, we ordained for the children of Israel that if anyone killed a person not in retaliation of murder or to spread mischief in the land, it would be as if he killed all mankind. And if anyone saved a life, it would be as he saved the life of all of mankind. And indeed, there came to them our messengers with clear proofs, evidence, and signs. Even then after, that many of them continue to exceed the limits by doing oppression unjustly and exceeding beyond the limits set by Allah and by committing major sins in the land. And surely Allah speaks the truth. Thank you all for coming out, fellow students, faculty, community members. We're very honored tonight to have Dr. Ilan Pappe visiting us from the UK. Just a bit about Dr. Ilan Pappe. He was born in Haifa in 1954. He grew up in Israel and was raised by parents who fled the Nazi-led oppression. He attended the Hebrew University and received a doctorate from the University of Oxford. He then went on to become a senior lecturer in the Political Science Department of Haifa University from 1984 to 2007 until his forced resignation. He also served as the academic director of the Research Institute for Peace at Givat Haviva from 1993 to 2000. Dr. Pappe is recognized as a new historian, a title given to post-Zionism Israel historians who challenge the history of Israel and Zionism. He is the author of many books regarding the Zionist oppression of Palestinians, with his most recent publication, The Ethnic Cleansing of Palestine. We also have this book outside for sale, and after the event, after the question and answer, we'll have signing from Dr. Pappe. So, with no further delay, please give a warm welcome to Dr. Ilan Pappe.
Thank you very much. I want to begin by thanking the organizers, the Muslim Student Union, for inviting me, and my great admiration for the events of this week, of in here only a day, but I really admire you for your tenacity and your courage. And as each one of us plays his role in the struggle for this just cause, I think we all empower each other and strengthen each other, each in his or her own part. And it's a great honor to be part of your effort in this very important week in which we commemorate 60 years to the Nakba and to the tragic events that occurred in Palestine in 1948. I'm basically a professor of history, and when I see students sitting in rows, I cannot but give you a lecture in history. It also stems from the reason that there's nothing else I know and can do, as my wife would attest had she been here, and my mother would object, but would know it was right. Not her fault as well. So, as a professor of history, and since you are a captivated audience, at least to begin with, do allow me to take you back to history, and we'll join together in a journey into the past in order to understand the relevance of the past to the present and the future of Palestine and Israel. And I think the journey into the past is something which is missing from many of the activities that we are all involved in. It definitely is missing from the current, present reports on the situation in Israel and Palestine. And whenever it appears in the comments of the journalists or the academics or the experts or the politicians or the diplomats, whoever they are, and they are involved in explaining the situation in Palestine, even when they relate to that history, it's quite often a biased, one-sided version that they bring to the fore. You are familiar probably with the tendency of the media everywhere in the world, but in this country in particular, to have a very brief and immediate reference to the past in order to explain an ongoing event today. They would give you a soundbite of the historical narrative, historical story. And in this country it comes in a very clear package, which I want to unpack tonight. Hopefully this is not the version you hear in this campus, but in many other campuses in the USA, you hear the same narrative, the same story. And because this is a fabricated story that you usually hear, because it is a distorted picture of the past, many policies of the present, and unfortunately many policies of the future, are based on this historical version. So it's very important for any one of us who is either an activist or a student, or lives in Israel or Palestine, or is interested in what goes on there, to have a basic knowledge of the past in a way that liberates us from the faulty and distortive versions that are usually are being presented in this country and in the West in general. So I think we can begin our journey now. And again, I will only stop at junctures which I think are relevant for the present. I think there are many things which interesting that happened in the past, but I will employ a mode of selection. I would really focus and stop at stations which I think are necessary for us for understanding better the present and have some idea of what awaits us in the future. Zionism emerged in the late 19th century as a response to two very human and normal impulses. The first